Welcome back, everyone. And today we're going to talk about the energy of the Elder Futhark rune Rydo. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but I'm going to say Rydo. This is a part of our project that Rosa and Ryan and me are doing, which we call the Shamanic Cycle of Initiation. And if you would like to know more about this project, you can go to the link below and access all the information about it. Also, you can go look in the description box below and look at all the other videos of other runes that we have done so far. So basically, in this video, we're going to talk about what we got from the energy of the Elder Futhark rune Raido. And the way we accessed this energy, you can call it by many names, such as psychic connection, you can call it third eye connection or third eye perception, and you can call it intuitive connection, and I guess connection via the clear vision, the clear senses. So yes, we are connecting to every rune of the Elder Futhark one by one in an attempt to experience all of these runes on ourselves and also watch any internal personal transformations and experiences that we're having. And why it's called the Shamanic Cycle of Initiation for us, you can check it out in the link below. But right now, we're just going to share what we got so far on the rune Rydo. So, Rosa, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so when I called upon the energy and the soul of Raido, however you say it, I saw it first come and dig down deep into the earth and down and down and down and dig a rectangular hole. And I saw Odin there, standing with a staff or a spear or something like that. And then on the tip of the top of the spear was a crystal or a light, and it was emitting this bright light, into the air and into the hole. And then I saw Rydo come through a fog, following that light into the hole and on a bicycle, riding a bicycle and riding into the hole and digging down and digging down and digging down. Felt like this energy was, that was like it's showing me digging down deep into ourselves and also the ride of our journey and following the light of the path of our journey. Um, then I saw Odin in the room with me. We're walking together, holding hands. Each of them were holding each one of my hands. One Odin on one side, right, Rado on the other side, guiding me and walking with me into the water. And we all walked into the water. We all swam together in the water, holding hands. And we just swam and swam and swam and just swam along together. And they released me, and a dolphin and a whale came. And I rode on the whale for a little bit, and we rode around. And then I rode on the dolphin, and me and the dolphin were just going through the ocean, a very playful, joyful ride through the ocean on the water. Mm, And then I left the dolphin and the whale, and we went down deep into the ocean. I went down deep into the ocean to the ocean floor, and I was looking for a treasure, and I found a treasure. It was a clam, and I brought this clam with me up to the surface of the ocean. And I just looked at it, and I felt so much love and respect and honor and just appreciation of that clam. I didn't feel like I needed to pry it open or take its pearl or anything. Just had appreciation for it, just the way it was. And I just loved it just like that. And then I released it into the ocean and it went back down to the ocean floor. So it's something with this this journey in the ocean and the element of water, digging down, finding your treasure down at the bottom of the ocean, the bottom of your core, and having respect and love for that, just the way it is. And being guided also. I was guided there by Odin, by the dolphin medicine, by the whale medicine, by the ocean medicine. Let's see. I felt lots of tree energy. Did I skip something? Nope. Felt lots of tree energy also from the rune. Uh, Out earth energy, water clearly was there, but earth too. I felt saw these trees, lots of trees, really, really tall trees, and them also going on their journey. Their journey was following the light, following the sun, and going up and up and up towards the light, towards the sun, and growing. And I saw their baby trees just start as one little sapling, small trunk, and then build another branch, and branch off the branch of the branch, and growing and growing and growing towards the light, towards the sun, just like the mother trees. So they were also going on this journey and changing and transforming into something stronger and bigger and following the light, the sun. Um, I saw the top of the trees, heard the wind rustling in the leaves, and there was life on the top of these trees. There was birds and wildlife and just animals, and there was just like a lot of life in the trees. So it was like a lot of tree energy and just life from that and growth and the journey of the trees and just like all the depth and intricacies of that, including the life in the trees. I felt, like I said, a lot of connection to the water element, but all of the connection to the water element, like all of the water. I felt all the facets of different types of water, stale water, like stagnant water, ocean water, river water, rain water, just like all of those water medicine, all of the water elements, features built in to the room. It was very strong water element to it. And all the different interpretations and stuff you can get from all those different types of water and where they would lead. You know, it felt very connected. I felt a lot of guidance and help along the way. The path, if I saw me again walking with Odin and the Rune, each of them holding one of my hands and guiding me, and then we stopped, and then Odin and the Rune, they kept walking, and I was just stopped waiting and watching them walk. And then I looked to my side, each of my sides, and they were still holding my hand. Even though they were up there and they were walking, they were still with me, and they were still holding my hand. They were with me all the time. And then I felt the same thing with an event where I was walking and I was holding hands with an event, and then the event walked away. And then I looked to my side and I saw that the vent was still there right by my side. It never went anywhere. Every event, everything we go through is still with us. Every event or thing that we go through is just it's just with us in spirit. Just how Odin and the Rune were, they're always with us in spirit. Um, Saw a lot of horses running, wolves. So there was a lot of animal medicine, animals, horses, a lot of riding things because I was riding dolphins and riding. I wasn't riding a bike, but there was just like a lot of riding things. I asked, how does the energy of Rado manifest in this 3D reality? And I saw a car driving on a road. It was driving down this long road, and then it came upon a crash, and it crashed, but somehow it still was able to maneuver itself and recover itself and continue on its road and its path. And it went around, it went through, it did what it did, but then it continued and it pressed on. And then as it pressed on, it reached another point where there was even a bigger crash, a bigger, much more devastating crash where there was lots of blood and lots of injury and lots of like real damage. And then I felt the spiritual team come in. I felt the spirit come in, and I felt them come and help with this person who had the crash and help them to get through it, to get through it, to move through it, to continue back on the road. And the car went back on the road and continued on its path with the help of the spiritual team. Let's see. I asked, how did the symbol of Raido come about? And a lot of times now, when I'm asking this question, I see the symbol itself and the shape of it and how the shape is formed. And so this time, if you know what the symbol looks like, it kind of looks like an R, but the R point is really triangular, very more like a point. And when I saw the symbol, I saw it come and I saw it fall on its side. So the base was just this long line. And I felt the line was us going on our journey and following that line and following it. And then it goes a sharp upturn because there's challenges on your journey and your path that you have to face. And you're going uphill, uphill, uphill on this journey. And then you reach the peak and then you come back down. And there's release and relief from all that you're going through. And then the R part kind of comes back up. And that final R, that final stretch, that final one that ended was the end of the journey. It was enlightenment. It was the end of your journey. It was what you were seeking. It was growth, prosperity of rewards. So it was just the symbol was formed in this demonstration of our journey, what that feels like, what the energy of that feels like. I asked, how does Rydo manifest in my life, myself specifically? I saw my ancestors. I saw a tribe of natives come. I heard the drums. They began a big ceremony, chanting and dancing, all wearing native attire. Um, my guide, who was the tribe leader, and I sat in the center of ceremony around rocks or fire, something like that. And we sat in circle and we embraced and I hugged her and I loved and I gave her a big kiss. And it was actually quite emotional because I haven't had that experience with her yet. And so that was really nice to connect with her like that. And then we all got together and we all started together to march together on this path, on this road. And we went straight and then we just spiraled. We all just went together in this spiral fashion, all together, just spiral. And I kept seeing this spiral come again in different ways when I was connecting with the energy of Rydo in different times. And it feels like this spiral is this digging down and this digging deep and going within and going down really deeper and deeper and deeper to the inside, to the core of all of us doing that together on our journey together. Um, I also saw myself lifted up to the sky, the golden light emanating from me, emanating from my core. And out of that light came a golden bird, a golden goose with a golden egg, a lot of gold. And the goose flew from my core and released its golden egg into the sky and it kept flying. And it felt like to me was it was my my core because it was my core. It was like what was inside me. It was my light. It was the freedom of my light kind of coming out and being expressed and just the connection of that core and that power and that light that is within all of us. Oh, let's see. Again, when I asked how it manifests in my life, I saw the spiraling, a lot of spiraling, the spiraling. I was spiraling and spinning very fast and digging into the ground and digging into the ground, and my arms were spiraling and spiraling. So it was just like, it just feels like, again, just like that digging down deep into really the core of us and going deeper into our journey and our path and just really going in and really going in further and further and further and further. Um, Odin also, when I had asked how does it manifest in my life, Odin came and he called me his dear child. He said, "Oh, my dear child." And he came and he took me with his cloak and he wrapped his cloak around me and he just was protective and with me. And I felt like he was with me and he was protecting me. But we were walking together and we were growing together. So it was like all of us are kind of just growing together and walking together. I asked for the advice of Rado from its perspective on my journey. And I said, and I asked for that. And I saw myself as a really tightly wound spool, really tightly wound. And then I saw the spool kind of loosening up and loosening up. And I felt like, okay, well, I just have to let go. I have to let go more. I'm too tight. I'm too wrapped in and held into things. And I've been doing that, but it's a reminder of more, let go more, and just really loosen up and let go. Um, yeah, I saw more of that. Me just going spinning around like a drill bit and going down into the ground. There was a lot of that for some reason, just a lot of that. When I was digging down into the ground, when I had asked for his advice on my journey from its perspective, and I was digging down to the ground, I saw that I was digging down into the ground and coming back up to the surface, digging back down into the ground, coming back up to the surface. So I felt like it was telling me some of that balance of dig down deep and keep going down that journey of digging down, but come back up to the surface and really have that balance of digging down and coming back up and digging down and coming back up, and not only just one or the other. So I felt like that was the advice I was being given. And other than that, I asked for my usual. I always ask for a blessing from Odin and the Rune. I asked them to please give me a blessing to help me on my journey. And they did. And I just felt that they were really imparting the wisdom of the rune deeper and deeper within, integrating within me. And that was what they did. And it felt very beautiful. And that was it. That was everything I got. Yeah.
That sounds very beautiful. The special feeling I got from your experience is just like, it's so beautiful and relaxed and kind of nice and beautiful. Everything is just like a beautiful realization. Because before we had runes where like, oh, there's death and destruction, and oh, there's this and that, but here it's like no, no, no. It looks like pretty good.
Yeah.
For me, it has been I've seen a lot of similarities with you, Rosa. What you've seen, I've seen the horse and the wolf a lot, and water, and especially ocean for me. So I've seen. First of all, I'll mention that I had a curiosity of how the rune was formed, the shape of the rune, and I don't really understand the meaning of what I was shown so much, but I saw a landscape with a lot of mountains in the back, and then I saw a letter K, like the the letter K that we all see, in the English alphabet, the letter K, and there was a full stop. I don't know why, but there was a full stop after the letter K, and the background was mountains, and then it told me that like that's the same thing as the R the R symbol. But when I saw it, I felt like I felt like there was a lot of kind of edgy movements. That was the point, like the mountains in the back. And the full stop, it was very important. And now as I speak, I understand, because there's a lot of rest involved, actually, because we did take rest for the 5 weeks, and my visions are all about rest, actually. Okay, so it told me that ocean was important, and I saw this magical, beautiful picture of two pictures which were kind of similar. One was a landscape. It was just a field in the night, and there was a black. There were a lot of black and blue colors, of rest, and the field of grass, there was like really tall grass and purple flowers growing, and like magic, blue, purple, and black, and silver. Silver was the moon. The moon was very thin. It was just like a sliver of a moon. It wasn't a full moon. It was like very, very thin moon. And everything was resting, but the moon was lighting the whole place, and in the silver light, and it was just like, it was so peaceful. It was nighttime, and there was a field of grass and purple flowers, and I felt that I heard the grass grow. Like I heard the grass growing, and it's so beautiful because at night you can actually, I guess it's just really quiet, so you can actually pay attention to the small things, how something grows. And everything was sparkling with silver. And if you have looked at the moon a bunch of times in your life before, you know that the moon has a rainbow around the moon. And I saw this rainbow around the moon, and it just told me of something magical and mysterious that's happening while everything sleeps, while everything rests. The rest is kind of an illusion, maybe, because during the rest time, you have things growing, like in the field, and you have magic working. And a similar kind of vision to this was that there was an ocean, and it was just all sparkling, silver sparkles, and also there was a moon, the same moon. So it was a time of peace and quiet and reflection. Um, and maybe, okay, I'm jumping ahead, but yeah, it's connected to this vision. It was brewing. It's an energy of brewing. Also, I saw a storm in the sky being formed, kind of like the storm was brewing, the storm was coming, so the clouds were getting together and the lightning was coming little by little, and it was like, oh, the storm is brewing. I don't know if there's an English expression like this, but the storm is brewing. It means it's gonna be a storm, but not yet. And it also was connected to, actually for me, the tsunami, because like a big wave, because it was little by little, in a state of kind of rest, the storm is brewing little by little. Grass is growing little by little, but eventually it's going to be a storm. Eventually something will happen, but not right now. Also, brewing made me think of brewing beer, but I'll talk about it later. Okay, so ocean. And in I was also in the forest, and I saw a tombstone which was very ancient, kind of like lost in the grass, very tall grass, and just I found a tombstone. Actually, I saw a lot of things about death, which I'll tell you in a moment. But that story that you said, that you went deep inside and you met Odin. I had a similar kind of vision, and I was about to throw it out of my notes because I thought that it was irrelevant. But I thought, oh, that's the way I'm going into the energy, because every time I go into some energy, I have a picture of me going there, like going into a tunnel or going by train there, or I love trains. I don't know why. I go everywhere by trains in my visions. So in this particular vision, I saw a door in the ground by a house, and it's like a door to a storage area under the house. So the door was opened into the ground, and I just flew down a tunnel into the door, and I went really, really deep down into a dark storage place of a house, and it was dark, and somehow I was wearing a black cloak, which kind of like a cloak is related to Odin, and somehow every time I meet him, I'm somewhere underground, always. I don't know why. Not always, but a lot of the time. And but somehow I was wearing the black cloak, and I thought that it was irrelevant, but it's when I heard your story, then I'm like, oh wait, similar thing happened. So it's something about being in the underground in a tunnel, um, digging somewhere deep, and so okay, now I'm going to talk about a different thing. I don't know if I should talk about this, but I saw a female's ovaries, and like the school book picture of ovaries, and they were turning into the ram's horns. So this picture of this thing, and they were also the ram's horns. So I'm not sure exactly what this means, but okay. Now I guess the negative part that I saw was a man in a suit with the tie, and he had no head in the office. So for me, this communicated the struggle that some people choose to face, living, kind of going to work every day in an office and not loving their job, and there's no head because it's kind of like a zombie mode, going through life, um, just kind of like forcing yourself to live this way, going to an office and being a zombie. And I actually this is really tough to put them all together, but I actually put them all together in a word like this: being in transit, whether it's positive or negative. So you can choose whether the transit is positive or negative. You can go through your life negatively, doing a job you hate in an office. Um, and I saw this person hating their job, hating everything about their life, and taking things like antidepressants and other substances just so they can get through the day, because it's just so tough, because it's just not a life. So they're, going home and drinking and other things. So you're a kind of a zombie. And are you still transitioning? Yes, you are, but you are doing it in a kind of negative way, which is also a way. It's your choice. You choose to do this. And I saw a kind of a symbolic three kind of horses. There was one horse that was taking um, a woman. She was nude, and she had very beautiful fiery curly hair, and she was riding the horse, and she was going somewhere very in a very excited way. um, she was riding the horse somewhere, and she was in transit, and that was a positive kind of transit, because she wanted to go there, and she was going for it. She's all fiery and passionate about it. And then I saw a dead person being taken somewhere by a horse. So this person is also being taken somewhere by a horse, but he's dead. It's just his body being taken, which is a different kind of transit. And then I also saw a tired person, and in this sense, I also saw a tired woman in a family who's been cooking all day, and who has been taking care of so many people all day, and she was just so tired. uh, and and I saw a tired person being taken by a horse somewhere. So I saw three kinds of horses, and three kinds of trips. One was a fiery woman who knew where she was going, and she was also nude, meaning that she had nothing to hide, kind of like she was fully accepting of herself. Uh, the other one was dead, a dead person. I'm not really sure what it means, but I had another vision of dead people, so I'll tell you later. And another one is a tired person. A tired person is being taken somewhere. And specifically, I saw tired people, like a woman who's been cooking all day, taking care of kids all day, taking care of the house all day, and she's just tired. And she's and the not specifically her, but a tired person going on a horse somewhere. So it's different kind of transition. So it's about something's happening, a transition, but you can choose the way it happens. I guess that's the point, I guess. And I saw that was at the beginning of my journey. I saw a foot of a corpse, a dead person, and this was very much related to my father because he recently passed away, and I saw his foot out of the blanket, which really stuck with me. And to me, the message of a foot of a corpse was this: there were two messages. One message was that once you die, you will be taken care of. Somebody has to take your body, and they will do certain things with your body, and you have nothing to do with this. You could be poor, you could be rich, you could be successful, you could be not successful, you're anybody, but somebody will take your body and they will go and do the necessary things with your body, like take them to the morgue, take them to be buried, all these things. So it's a kind of transition. Someone is doing the job for you. Another message of a dead body was that if something is not working anymore, let it go. If the body you're living in is not giving you anything anymore, then just let it go. Death is okay. Also, it relates to shadow work. So I saw a man being tied up by a rope and thrown off a boat, like a very old boat. People threw the man out to his death, tied up from a boat. And why they did this? Because they knew that this man did not fit with their community in the boat, because he was doing something against everybody in the boat. And if they let him stay in the boat, he endangered the boat a lot. And everybody would be faced with failure. Maybe he was making a hole in the boat, maybe, and then that will make everybody in danger. So they have to throw this man, or maybe he was killing people on the boat. I don't know, but he definitely did not belong in the boat, so they had to throw him out. And to me, this was a message of kind of like shadow work in spiritual work. Shadow work, so you dig deep inside of you, again, deep dark tunnel into the dark, and you find something that doesn't belong, and you throw it out. Okay. Then let me see. So yeah, I also saw a pregnant woman who was just waiting for the baby to develop. So meaning that I saw clearly that there were kind of three stages of action. First stage was the decision to get pregnant, the decisions to have a baby. Second, there was an action to have a baby. Third, she was pregnant and she had to wait. She can't do anything during the period of pregnancy. Yeah, she has to eat, she has to take care of her, but it was basically a time of waiting, like a rest kind of period. I don't know, I've never been pregnant. I don't know if that's how it works, but for me, that was a image. And also, there were many examples of how you need to wait. For example, there was a food cooking on the stove in a pot on a fire. So you have made the decision to cook something, then you have done the action of getting the ingredients together and you put everything. You did the right thing. You chop them up in the right order. You put them in the pot. You turn on the fire, and now you have nothing to do. You are just waiting, and that is the energy of Rydo. Also, like you just wait. The fire, you've done the action. And also it's like planting a seed in your life, like with your life purpose. Let's say you want to do something that is that is your life purpose, so you plant seeds to do the thing that you want to succeed. You do a lot of action. You decide that you want to go this way first, then you plant seeds by doing action, then you wait. There's actually a period of brewing, kind of like brewing beer. Also, kind of like you make a decision to brew beer. Okay, then you do action. You grow the wheat, you collect the wheat, you put it in barrels. You wait. You do the action. Then you sit and wait. There's really nothing you can do for some time. So this is a kind of waiting period. So I imagine this is why we took 5 weeks, because it was like a kind of dark waiting period, but it's a very nice, pleasant waiting period, even though you're in the shadows. And I asked, where can we see this energy in our lives? And I saw that in spiritual kind of practices and in our shamanic, maybe in our shamanic practices and our shamanic path. Where can you see Raido energy? It showed me that if you're doing some kind of energy healing, like blessings or energy healing or Reiki or any kind of healing, then the time that, let's say you made the decision that you want the healing and you've done the action of getting the healing together, and then you just sit and wait for the healing to happen. You need to just sit and watch and let it happen. You need to accept it and let it happen, and you do nothing for a while. You just let it happen. Also, I saw it as a visit to a doctor. So you make a decision that you want to be healed. You go and make the phone call to the doctor. You say, hi, I want to visit this doctor. Then you visit the doctor, you've done the action. And then when the doctor prescribes you the medicine and you take the medicine, then all you can do is wait. And then the medicine works. So it's a kind of waiting energy. And I asked, how can I see it in my life? Oh, how can I call on this energy? At what instances can I call on this energy in my life? And it said that when you need patience, call on this energy, because actually it's not so easy to wait. Many times we want to jump and do something and go against our will, even because we think that we have to be always in action. So it said that there's an art of waiting, kind of. There's an art of being at rest. For example, when you have planted the seeds of something and you're waiting for them to grow, you can do many things that are peaceful and pleasant, almost like taking advantage of the luxury of waiting, the luxury of doing nothing for a while. But you're not doing nothing. You can, for example, in my personal experience, it told me that while you're waiting for certain things to happen, take advantage of this luxury of waiting and get deep into meditation, and whatever things you're studying, get deep into that. Enjoy the book that you're reading, love the book that you're reading. If you're painting, love the process and take time of painting. Just enjoy the luxury of waiting, because you're being taken somewhere. You made the decision, you've done the action, now you got to wait. And I also got that if people are writing books, for a writer of books, where is the energy of Rydo? It is in daydreaming. So when you're daydreaming, that's when the ideas come to you. So waiting, but also digging deep inside. And it's very peaceful and beautiful energy, full of magic and beauty. So yeah.
It's really
Cool.
cool. Makes a lot of sense, though. Definitely lots of connections and differences, and I always like to hear your perspective on what you get when you do it. So that was very interesting and cool.
It was.
A lot of waiting. You were giving more details about the actual journey itself. Like I just kept saying the journey, the digging, the shadow, and that, and the balance, and that, and the ride of the journey, and the way you're following the light of the journey. But you have a lot more of the specifics of the journey itself.
Yeah, because I asked to see different specific aspects in different applications. Like I want to see how it works at a doctor's office. I want to see how it works in my kitchen. I want to see how it works when I'm painting, when I'm writing, when I'm doing this, when I'm doing this. I want to see how it works on the collective. I want to see, oh, I saw this body decaying. Actually, I saw this dead body in the soil, and then it decayed, and then afterwards the soil kind of looked the same as it did before. There was not much difference. And then I realized that, oh, the body is kind of being taken. Like when we say the body is decaying, we kind of say like it implies that the body is taking action, which is decaying, which is ridiculous. Body does not decay. The body's dead. It doesn't do anything. Somebody else is doing the part of decaying. It's like the little worms, the little insects, all that stuff around the body, that's doing the decaying part. But the body itself doesn't do anything. But we say the body did it. And then the interesting thing of like the body was there and then it's not anymore. And it's kind of going back to the same thing. And I don't know, it's underground. I don't know. I don't want to summarize what it means, but it seems like on the same frequency of the whole thing. It's like dark, cold, not cold, no, magical, and kind of like I don't want to summarize it. Basically, it's just,
That's the sliver of the moon you saw. I know, like the moon in different phases has different energy, and the sliver of the moon. I don't know what the energy means at that point, but I feel like that's really significant because you brought it up a few times. What is the energy? You know, like when the sliver is gone completely, it's a new moon, and that's when it's time for new things and new beginnings and manifestation and stuff like that. But the sliver right before that is the energy of what you got. So I'm curious. Now I want to look like just examine that.
yeah.
Very cool.
Good stuff, Olga.
Thanks. I feel like there was connection to your part, but also as usual, I think we all get the messages that are relevant to us. Like I get the message that's relevant to me at this point of time. You get the message that's relevant to you. And Ryan, what messages did you get relevant to you, or what happened with you and these 5 weeks, and what's up with you and Rydo?
All right, so this one was interesting, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of similarities, so it'll be fun. So with Rydal, it was for me. I did this very quickly and got a surprising amount, but for me it was I mean, it was kind of like when you've made, part of it had to do with decision making. Like, I mean, there's the journey, but when you've decided to go on the journey, like you have your provisions, you have what you need, you've made the decision, you're going on the journey, you're going on it, and the calm that comes with that once that decision's made. You know, like the calm before the storm. But it's but a lot of it for me was about the journey itself. Like a lot of people go somewhere and it's like, we saw this and this and this was beautiful, but it doesn't really describe 99% of what was there. A lot of it's, they're not going to, a lot of it's kind of the wordless information, the vibrations and stuff that you get. It's like there's a clearing out of not being in your day-to-day life when you're on a journey. For me, it was a lot of caves, which makes sense. It's journey inside and how that kind of creates the journey outside, and affects it. But there was also, a lot of, there's like building a fire, eating, hardship type stuff, being cold as hell. But it's but that doesn't really matter so much. It's still a growth, it's still a change. The comfort doesn't matter. And neither does so much the mental mind making. Still get it. So Rydal was a lot about I guess the journey inward and just sort of the movement of the journey in a way. So it was, just a very, very calm energy, which was neat. And yeah, it was mainly that sort of thing. It's somewhat about enjoying the journey, but that didn't seem like all it was about. It seemed like a lot about the growth on the journey, and just essentially going out and doing it, I guess. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we all got growth, right?
Yeah.
Rosa had the trees growing, I had the grass growing in the night. You have the growth, and I love yeah.
I forgot one part. There was like an Indiana Jones kind of cave, and a lot of it was because I forgot the words that kept going was why are you here? What'd you come here for? So it was kind of like, are you going on the journey? What's the purpose? Ultimately, I got that the purpose didn't matter that much. It was more just about going on the journey. Those questions arise. But there was it was kind of interesting with the Indiana Jones thing, because like even though it's this dangerous tunnel, it's mysterious and it's got this treasure at the end or all throughout it. And then it's like, okay, well, what are my traps? What are my dangerous things getting in the way of me getting this treasure? But at the same time, it's like, cool. That's my 2 cents.
Cool.
And we all went in the ground, like down in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm trying to find the common things, but I feel like it's all connected very by like invisible threads. And I really connected to what Ryan said about once you make a decision, which was a lot in my visions too, like decision has to be there.
Yeah.
And the action, the like kind of like the first steps had to be there, like the action had to be taken, at least the first steps. And but it could take different venues, like it could be in like different types. You could be happy about it, you could be unhappy about it, but you're going there.
Right.
And like
it's very
like you
realistic
said,
often. Yeah.
what?
Yeah, it was very realistic. Yeah, it's like the journey could be bad, but it's like Because you're on the journey.
Mhm.
No. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah. And actually, like in my life, many times I learned that sometimes the best thing to do when you're feeling stuck or something, or you're feeling overwhelmed, is make a decision. What do you want? Pause, take a break, rest, and make a decision. What do you want? And then once you make a specific decision and you say, this is what I decide, then suddenly there's a calm that comes with it, because you're like, oh, like all the other options are gone, and
Right.
you just know that you're going there now, and you don't know how you're going to get there, what's going to happen, but at least you know that you're going there and you made the decision. And it's kind of like making a decision is already kind of getting there. Like
It puts it into motion, like it begins that journey or that ride on the horse or whatever it is. But yeah, it's like when you haven't made the decision, there's not that calm feeling. Once you do, it's like a wave.
Mhm. It reminds me of a time when I decided that I want to open, I don't like that word, but I decided I'm going to open my third eye, because well, I've been having, since I was a child, I've been having all kinds of visions and experiences, and that just always happen on their own, and I didn't like that. I wanted to control it. I wanted to be the one who asks the questions. I don't want to just get information downloaded. I want to be the one who says, okay, now let's see this, let's see that. And one day I remember the moment I was laying on the couch and I said, I'm not going anywhere with my life until I open my third eye. Like I thought that specific phrase, open third eye, meant whatever it is that we're doing right now, like the psychic skill, the Clara stuff. Like, that's it. I'm not doing anything in my life anymore. Like, I just put everything on pause. I need to do this first. That's it. Like, and I made that decision. I need to do this, and I will do everything it takes to do it. And I don't want anything else. This is what I want, number one, right now. And I felt like as if there was a waiter standing next to me and he was writing down my order. He's like, okay, 1/3 eye coming up. Okay. And he left. And I'm like, and I knew that this is going to happen just because I decided that it's going to happen. And it's kind of like we are writing our own stories of our lives. We are the creators of our universe, because when we decide that something's going to happen, magic happens. And we all had magic in our visions, right? Like magic happens. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I know that it's going to happen. Why? Because I decided it, and I back it up by some actions, but not necessary specific positive, negative. Or the actions are kind of like you said, even not important. I could be, I don't know, I could be saying one mantra 1,000,000 times, and I thought that this was going to get me to open my third eye. Or some people do something else to open their third eye, and the action kind of doesn't matter, because what matters is you decided what you want.
Right.
That's the way I see it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely. Use decisions, your intention. That's what starts the journey. First is your words and your decision and the sound and the vibration of that. That starts everything. You put the vibration out there and then the journey begins.
Yeah, and I mean, once you've made the decision, the intention's out there. And then, of course, magic is going to speed that up and add a little more to it. So it's, yeah, it's interesting. I never really liked the word manifest, but there is something to it.
Definitely.
Although I noticed with Rydal, for me personally, I think, I mean, yeah, there's the inner journey part, but a lot of it seemed to be stressing the importance of going on a physical journey as well.
Mhm.
I think that's just because that's something I've been called to do for a while that I never do, because I get stuck with work. But yeah, and excuses essentially.
Action. Physicalness, that action part,
Right.
Mhm.
the intention.
It's kind of like the actual movement towards it. You're moving towards
Mhm.
something. Doesn't, and yeah, like everything says, it doesn't really matter so much the end goal. It's you're going towards it.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
And makes me curious about, okay, the journey has started, we made the decision. It's all like, in my language we say sliding down like butter, like wheel. I wonder what and I wonder what is the next rune energy is gonna be now, because now I feel like the pace has been kind of the pace will change. It will not be 5 weeks anymore. It will be faster, it seems to me. Seems like
Probably.
we've been going through the gestation brewing period, and now I don't know what will happen, but it looks very exciting. Also, spring is coming. Wait, no. Not yet, but I don't know. So looking forward to the next room, and thank you guys so much. You make this project so amazing. I love doing this with you. Thank you guys so much.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you guys, thank you for watching this video till the end. And if you have any comments and anything that you can share about your experiences of this rune, Rydo, please write in the comments. Please visit our website. Please check out our project, and let's go through this journey together.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you and bye.
Bye.
Bye.